Find out the error in the following sentences about the Big Bang Theory. Number 1, it is a religious theory about the earth. Number 2, it states that gigantic explosion led to the formation of the universe. Number 3, this theory is the prevailing cosmological model. Number 4, Big Bang moment began 13.8 billion years ago. Big Bang theory states that roughly 13.8 billion years ago, all matter was compacted into a very small ball with infinite density and intense heat called a singularity. Suddenly, the singularity began to explode or resulted in gigantic explosion, which led to the formation of the universe. This theory is the prevailing or existing cosmological model explaining the evolution of the universe. Hence, the false statement is it is a religious theory about the earth. Any large collection of stars that can be recognized as a distinct physical entity is known as dash. The correct answer is galaxy. Here the options are galaxy, Milky Way, pole star, constellation. Galaxy means any large collection of stars that can be recognized as a distinct physical entity. We live in a galaxy called as Milky Way. Pole star, it is a kind of a star present in our solar system. The last one, constellation, which means group of stars form a pattern in the sky. We call it as a constellation. Now the correct answer is galaxy. Which of the following choices related to constellations is not correct? Number 1, Orion. Number 2, Scorpius. Number 3, Pleiades. Number 4, Polaris. Orion, Scorpius, Pleiades, all these three are the examples or kinds of constellations. But Polaris, it is a pole star. So Polaris is a correct answer. Rearrange the given planets according to their increasing distance from the Sun. Out of 8 planets, the planets closer to Sun, like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, these 4 are called as planets. From Jupiter onwards, the distance is increasing. The increasing order of distance is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, last one, Neptune. Which one of the following has no natural satellite of its own? Number 1, Mars. Number 2, Venus. Number 3, Uranus. Number 4, Jupiter. The correct answer is Venus. Out of 8 planets, Mercury and Venus, the neighboring planets to the Sun, they do not possess satellites of their own. There are 2 planets in our solar system whose periods of revolution around the Sun are less than those of our Earth, but their periods of rotation are more compared to those of the Earth. These planets are Uranus, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn. The correct answer is Mercury and Venus, because the time period of a planet to revolve around the Sun is directly proportional to the distance from the Sun. Since Mercury and Venus are neighboring planets, their period of revolution around the Sun is less compared to the Earth, but their period of rotation is longer than the Earth. Even though the planet Mercury closest to the Sun, it is not easily visible. State the reason. Number 1, it is the smallest planet. Number 2, it is too hot for life to exist. Number 3, several holes, craters present. Number 4, due to the glare of the Sun. Since the planet Mercury is the nearest planet to the Sun, because of the glare of the Sun, it is not easily visible to us. The meaning of glare is it is a very harsh, bright, dazzling light emitted from the Sun, which makes Mercury easily not visible to us. What kind of a galaxy do we live in? Number 1, spiral. Number 2, irregular. Number 3, elliptical. Number 4, spherical. Any large collection of stars that can be recognized as a distinct physical entity is known as galaxy. The different type of galaxies are spiral, elliptical, and irregular. But we live in a galaxy which is a spiral galaxy. It consists of the sun, the moon, the earth, the other planets known as Milky Way. Which kind of celestial bodies have a head and tail? The options are number 1, planets, number 2, stars, number 3, asteroids, number 4, comets. Like a planet or the moon, comet is a member of the solar system. It has a head and tail. The head is large cloud of glowing gases called the coma of the comet. So the correct answer is comets. Find out the suitable reason for the elimination of Pluto from the planets list. Number 1, it does not orbit around the sun. Number 2, Pluto is brighter than any other planet. Number 3, it has not cleared the neighborhood around it. Number 4, Pluto is bigger than any other planet. International Astronomical Union downgraded the status of Pluto to that of a dwarf planet because it did not meet the 3 criteria that the IAU uses to define a full-sized planet. They are: number 1, it is in orbit around the sun. Number 2, it has sufficient mass to assume a round shape. Number 3, it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. Here, in our case, Pluto is a very small planet, but it is orbiting around the sun, but the orbit is not regular, it is erratic in nature. The valid point is it has not able to clear the neighborhood around its orbit. So the correct answer is number 3, it has not cleared the neighborhood around it, so that it is eliminated from the planets list. The constellation depicts the shape of a hunter holding a shield in his right hand and the left arm lifted. Options: number 1, Ursa Major, number 2, Ursa Minor, number 3, Orion, number 4, Scorpius. When a group of stars form a pattern in the sky, it is called a constellation. Orion is a kind of a constellation. It gives the shape of a hunter holding a shield in his right hand and the left arm lifted. So the correct answer is Orion. Why is pole star used as reference point to identify the direction? Number 1, it appears stationary in the sky. Number 2, it looks brighter than any other stars. Number 3, Polaris is present in the Milky Way. Number 4, it can be seen through a telescope. Another bright object in the sky apart from the sun and the moon is the Polaris or the pole star. Since the pole happens to be pointed at Polaris, the medium bright star is directly overhead there. That makes Polaris the Earth's North Star, and it appears to be stationary. Because of this, it is used as a reference point to identify the direction. It is known as the Little Dipper. At the end of the dipper handle is the Polaris. Then what is the Little Dipper? Options: Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Orion, Scorpius. Ursa Minor, known as the Little Dipper. This constellation also consists of 7 stars. At the end of the dipper handle is the Polaris, commonly known as the pole star. Find out the planet which takes 687 days to complete one revolution around the Sun. Number 1, Saturn. Number 2, Uranus. Number 3, Neptune. Number 4, Mars. Mars is our neighboring planet. It goes around the Sun in a larger orbit than the Earth and takes 687 days. The correct answer is Mars. There are small heavenly bodies found between Mars and Jupiter. Number 1, comet. Number 2, asteroids. Number 3, meteors. Number 4, meteorites. Asteroids are small heavenly bodies or mini planets. Sometimes we call it as a planetoids found between Mars and Jupiter. This region is called as the asteroid belt. The theory about the formation of asteroids says that satellites of Jupiter exploded and formed these fragments. Now the correct answer is asteroids. The first Indian satellite that was launched in 1975 Aryabhatta was India's first satellite named after an ancient Indian mathematician Aryabhatta. It was built by India, but it was launched by the Russians. Its primary function was to conduct experiment about X-ray, astronomy, aeronautics, and solar physics. There are 2 planets in our solar system which rotate from east to west. These planets are number 1, Venus and Uranus, number 2, Mercury and Venus, number 3, Uranus and Neptune, number 4, Mercury and Uranus. The correct option is Venus and Uranus. These 2 planets, they move in clockwise direction, which means they rotate from east to west. It shows that in these planets, the sun rises in the west. The change in seasons on the earth occurs because, number 1, the axis of rotation of the earth is tilted with respect to the plane of its orbit. Number 2, the distance between the earth and the sun is not constant. Number 3, the axis of rotation of the earth is parallel to the plane of its orbit. Number 4, the axis of rotation of the earth is perpendicular to the plane of its orbit. The correct answer is the axis of rotation of the earth is tilted with respect to the plane of its orbit. Because earth's tilted axis causes the seasons. Throughout the year, when the earth revolves around the sun, different parts of the earth exposed to the sunlight. When a particular part of the earth exposed to the most of the sun rays, it experiences summer. Like for example, if a north pole tilt towards the sun means it experiences summer. Why do we see one side of the moon always? Number 1, because it is a non-luminous body. Number 2, it has many craters on its surface. Number 3, the gravitational pull of the moon is high. Number 4, because the moon rotates on its axis at the same rate that the moon orbits the earth. Number 4 is the correct answer. The moon completes one full rotation on its axis in the time it takes to orbit the earth. That means the same side is always turned towards us. That is why we see one side of the moon always. Venus, called as Earth's twin planet. Number 1, Venus is seen in the sky before sunrise and after sunset. Number 2, this planet is same size as the Earth. Number 3, it rotates backwards from east to west. Number 4, it has no satellites. The correct answer is number 2. This planet is same size as the Earth. Venus is sometimes called as Earth's twin because Venus and Earth are almost same in size and mass and also having similar composition.